Okay, also here we are in the garage. I promised to make a video whenever I got this out and getting it ready for the fall. This is my Snapper rear engine rider, circa 1984. Done a couple videos on it, mostly after I got it, just testing it out and whatnot. The backstory on this: a couple years ago, I got this as a trade-in on a new push mower that I sold. The woman said that it wouldn't start anymore because I guess somebody had worked on it in the past and they had rigged up a key system, an ignition key that was here, that had broken off. And what it ended up happening is, I guess that they didn't realize that there's a push start on the back of these. So I actually just hit the push start and it actually cranked up and ran, although it smoked like a freight train for a minute or so just from being where it was transported in the truck and whatnot. This is by no means a perfect mower, but just for the code, the model number, you have a 253707. It was built 1984, the year, the month is the 12th, so December, the day is the 6th. So a very late 84 model. Like I said, around 33-inch cut. I use this. I have a 42-inch Craftsman that I use to cut the grass with. I have a ton of pine trees in my yard, and so I have a bagger, as you can see, the little chute here that I just keep on this mower. I use this mower primarily September, October, November, December, January, in the fall with the pine straw season, to get the pine straw. It works really well. I put a deck belt on it last year. It was actually the first video I made at the new house, which I have been at a year now and love it. This mower's been pretty good considering that I basically paid nothing for it. And so we're just going to do a little bit of sprucing up with it today. I got the battery on a charger. I put it on there the day before, and it's ready to go. It's been getting a lot of corrosion on the terminals and whatnot. There's still a little bit on there you can kind of see on the positive. I tried to clean some of it off. I'm going to put some of this lithium grease on there, or dielectric grease, excuse me. Hopefully it will help keep some of the corrosion away. The good news is I don't have to keep it outside anymore. I just keep it either in the garage or the lean-to, depending on the amount of room that I have. It does use some oil. I usually put a little bit of oil in it every time I use it. I haven't checked it in a long time, so let's see how much it's got. It's actually a little on the low side still, just a tinge below the add mark, so it's got some in it. It's an older motor that's got some hours on it, so it's going to use some oil. I don't mind putting a little bit in it each time I have to use it. So what we're going to do, let's put the battery in it. And what I'm eventually going to do, I believe I'm going to purchase a tire tube for the left rear because it goes flat every couple weeks. Like I said, I just wanted to, getting it ready for the pine straw season. It picks up so much better than my Craftsman 42-inch. The bagger on that gets clogged so easily. I had to use that in a pinch last year to pick up some pine straw. Actually, the bagger on this split. I had too much weight in the back, and just from age and a little bit of weak metal, it ended up splitting the bagger. Got it welded, put back together, and so it's good to go for the year now. But I wanted to finish the yard, and so I used that. And gosh, this 33-inch Snapper with the high-vac system, even a 35-year-old mower, is far superior to it. Hope maybe I can make a video of me picking up some pine straw with it at some point, but it works awesome. I have a half-acre yard. It takes me a little bit to get it up, but if you think about it, I don't have to go to get any mulch. That's right, I have a perpetual supply here. So anyways, I will stop talking. I'll put this battery in. We'll crank this thing up and hopefully we'll hear it run. Alright, so I got it out, put the battery in, put a little bit of that dielectric grease on the terminals. Hopefully that will keep the corrosion away. And threw some oil in it, got it full to the full mark now. So I'm going to crank this thing up and see if it'll run for us. It'll probably smoke a little bit too, since it hasn't been running a few months, but hopefully preserving the gas. I put some gas in it. I always empty the carburetor completely of fuel before I store them as well. So I'll turn the gas on, let it flow for a few seconds, and then we'll see if we can get this thing turned over. I've got to fiddle with the, I think I'm going to have to fiddle with the connections a little bit for the starter. They've been giving me a little bit of trouble, so let me work on that, and then we'll see if we can get this thing going. The positive terminal, I think, is a little bit, it's a little damaged, but hopefully I can get it to where it will turn over for us, because it just sparked if you just heard it, and the gas is running out too, so I got a little bit of extra issues here, if you can see. So let me work on those and see if I can get back with y'all on this. Okay, we're back now. I just kind of, like I said, the positive terminal on the battery is a little bit damaged, so I just tightened up the terminal a little bit. Reallocated some of the positive wires. I've always had trouble with that, this battery, just because of that. And also just the terminals just simply being old. So let's turn it over now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can get it to fire, and then I am going to release the gas, because a lot of times when you don't have gas in this for a little bit, the needle and float, or the needle won't seat, just because it hasn't moved in a while. Get the gas flowing, a lot of times it will seat, and it'll be good to go after that. So see if we can get it going. Smoke to burn. Okay, it was pouring like a freight train out of there. So let's see. Actually, it might be time for a carb rebuild for this thing. Let's just see what we got going here. Let me crank it back up. Sit back on it. Yeah, so that thing's pouring like nobody's business out of the bottom down there. That shouldn't help any matters. Yeah. It's actually pouring out pretty good, isn't it? Let me toy around with it a little bit more. I feel like if I can get it running a little bit, that needle will seat itself. I think it might just be stuck in the down position and maybe need a little encouragement to get up. So let me fiddle around a little bit with it off camera. If I can get it running, I'll tack it on to the next clip of this video. If not, we might go carb hunting, see if we can get this thing rebuilt. So I took the plug out. Let me see if I can get good light on it for y'all. The plug is very dirty, so I'm gonna try and clean it off with a wire brush and see if we can get it in a little bit better condition here. Get a screwdriver and just kind of scrape off some of the stuff as well. So we're looking a good bit better here. Before we put it back in, let's see if we got spark. Let me put the plug in. Actually don't see any spark coming from the plug at all. I might have to put a plug in it, folks. Yeah, that plug actually isn't producing any spark, so let me try a new plug. Well, you gotta love these little old mowers that you gotta love. Give a little bit of love to get running. All I did was pinch in the connector there on the wire, and don't make a liar out of me, spark is back. So let's it's not the first time I've had that issue with this mower, so let's put the plug back in and see if we can get it going. I guess it's not lesson learned, but I mean, when you have a 35-year-old mower, it's not going to be perfect all the time, so oh well. Alright, so what is this, take 3 now? I'm sure there's probably some of y'all out there that's like, what in the world? He doesn't know what he's doing. Trial and error. Just trying to do the small things so I don't have to tackle any large things that may not be necessary. So let's see. A little better. pour out fuel here. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, so I think it's flooding the carburetor. Or it's flooding the motor. I guess I could give the old wrench on the carb bowl a try, just for the heck of it. It's not going to be necessarily difficult in order to get into this carburetor, but it's not going to be the easiest in the world. Let's see if that does anything. I highly doubt it. Let's go for a ride. Ooh, that disc is a little worn, friends. Disc isn't real, it's pretty worn out. I probably had to get a disc too. I bet it won't even pull itself up this. Just barely, and that's in high gear too. Let's see if the gas leaks out this time. You gotta love lawnmowers sometimes. Sometimes a little tap of a wrench on a carb bowl seems to help things out some, because it's not leaking anymore. So it's like slowly but surely we're getting there, folks. So now next in order is to try and figure out why the disc isn't pulling like it's supposed to. Having a lot of trouble getting it up hills and whatnot right now. Although it was a little sluggish, it might be time for a disc. So thought this was going to be kind of a short video. Obviously it's going to be a little bit longer, so stick with me. And we'll get this thing fixed.
Alright, y'all, let me give you a look under here at this disc. So I got under here. The disc seems rather slick, but it's still got plenty of tread on it. When I go up here to the drive wheel, it's got a little oily residue on it, and you can see a little bit of residue of oil right there as well. So somewhere it's getting some oil on it. I don't know. Let's see. Like, I don't necessarily see any leaks in the mower itself. Although I know it does use oil, and obviously there's oil right there on my hand. I have a clean rag here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it with some brake cleaner, and this may do the opposite of what I need it to do. But we're going to hit it with some brake cleaner and see. Move the light out of the way. See what might happen here. No, brake cleaner usually dries stuff out, which kind of is what I want to do here. So we'll let that dry for a minute. So I might take this rag here and use it. Get on the other side too, because it needs a nice clean surface for it to abrase to. Right now it doesn't have that. Yeah, it's definitely made the wheel more tacky as well, so could, let's see what we can do here. So that's just the axle. Let me get the actual, put it in gear here and see what happens. Obviously the wheels are off the ground, it's not going anywhere. Gosh, that's much more tacky than it was. That's good. Get on this side, it's pretty slick. So let me throw a little brake cleaner on this side. You can see where it's wearing the wheel a little bit too. I think I've actually got maybe a little bit of oil leak down here. That is much more tacky than it was. Let's see what we've got here. Just remember, these things are obviously wheel driven by this little friction disc. And anytime you get any sort of water or oil or any of that nature on it, it's basically like driving on slick tires in the rain. It just slips and slides and it never really does anything. Alright, so let's see.
what that does. All right, moment of truth here. Just put it in gear. That's first. Second. This thing's never been Speedy Gonzalez or anything. That's better. It's still not great. Tell the speed difference in going uphill and going downhill. I'm gonna ride around a little bit more and see what happens. So, just got done testing with a little bit more. The more I drove it, the better it got. As obviously as you can see, I'll eventually have to break down and put a drive disc on it. I think they've got just got some oil on the disc and the drive plate down there, and so we're just going to leave it like it is for now. It pulls good enough. I have a very level yard, so as long as I can get it to pull on a level yard, I'm good. Like I said, it would be nice if I put a new disc and whatnot on it. That thing, I could probably pop wheelies with it if I did that. Again, I would like to put a tube in it. I'm not going to put that in the video because this video is already getting really, really long. So I'm just going to leave it right here. I know a lot of people enjoy seeing these old Snapper RER engine riders still running and going. This one's not perfect. It has smoked up my garage just by pulling it in here. But I might try a little additive. I might just put oil in it and let it ride, honestly. I love this little mower for what it is. Picks up grass, or picks up my pine straw great, which is why I really like to keep it. So thanks for coming along on this journey. Got the old Snapper back going. Just need a little TLC, about an hour's worth, and got it in decent shape. Like I said, if I end up replacing the drive disc and end up putting a tire tube, I'll make another video on it. But for now, thank y'all for watching. I think the next video I'll have going, I want to show y'all what equipment I have hanging around here that I use for personal use. I haven't really done that yet, so I think I'm going to do that for my next video, as it is still in the quiet part of the season for me. And sometime between now and the end of the year, I should be getting my next shipment of custom return mowers, so I'll have that to look forward to, with a lot of videos of that coming as well. So thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for continuing to support the channel, and we will catch you next time.